Hey everybody, how's it going? It's been a while since I did a video. I've been busy with work and whatnot, so yeah. But I'm back, as best I can be. What I have here is another basing segment, but first I just want to say thank you to my subscribers out there. I got more than I ever thought I would get, and it's not even that much comparatively to other channels, but I think it's a lot, so thank you. So let's move on. What I have here for you are Martian sand, Martian desert, my attempt at it. As I said before, I'm doing an AdMech army for Imperial Guard, and they're going to be on a Martian desert type of base. They are, and in my own Space Marine chapter I'm making up one of many, but this one's called the Iron Ravens, and they will also be on the Martian base to kind of tie up two armies together. Yeah, so pretty much what I did is this is standard modeling flock from Games Workshop. I know you can get it from a variety of places, but I just use theirs. Modeling flock. I forget how much it is, but it lasts a while. Like, it still looks pretty much full, and every one of my bases have not plastic on it or Space Hulk, so that any one of them that have flock has been used from this, and that's a decent amount of bases. Anyway, so once it's on there and glued and dried, I did a base coat of bestial brown. Any dark brown will work. I want bestial brown because it's on the redder side, I guess, for a brown. But any type of brown will work. Then after that, I dry brushed heavily scab red, and then it doesn't come out well in the light, this type of light on the video. And then over that I did red gore, lighter, but enough to make it appear different. So like I would constantly go on one part of the base until I notice a highlighting difference, and then I would move on. You could touch it here and there with like just pure blood red or blood red gore mix if you wanted to make it extremer. I didn't want to do that because to me that doesn't seem realistic for sand. I mean, it could be. Obviously, it's all up to you. Or you might be able to get away with an orange lightly on the very extreme, very dry brush. Pretty much. So those are pretty much the colors I used. Bestial brown is a base coat, so it's not dry brush at all. The scab red is like, I call it dry brush, but it's like the bare minimum of dry brushing. And I don't mean like really dry. I mean it's so wet for a dry brush, but still dry that you have to like do a few passes over. I don't know how to explain it better than that. Pretty much you want to get the scab red to cover almost all the bestial brown. We want just enough of a hint of the bestial brown, which you can see better in person than on this video, to seep through at the very end. I think it does the job well enough. I mean, could it be redder, like more obvious red? Probably, but I like the very subdued nature of it, because it won't take. My problem with red is that it takes your eye, and you don't want it to be the focus. At least I don't want it to be the focus. I'm going to have a black and red army on there anyway, so I don't want the eye to like be too much divided in attention between the two reds. That's pretty much it. On the sides, that's graveyard earth. I pretty much use graveyard earth on all my sides. That just gives it a nice clean look. Makes it look, I don't know, finished. I know in the olden days they used some type of green on the outside, and people still do that. But I noticed a lot of, not a lot, or any people really, but from what I've noticed is like a brown over it, and I chose the brown because, again, with the green kind of catches your eye. Pretty much, I try to avoid bright colors on my bases unless it's part of the base, like part of a road, or in Space Hulk, like something on the floor. and those are just detail colors, so not like big gaping colors. Mostly because I want the eye to see the base and know it's there and be like, oh, that's a nice base, but I don't want the eye to be like, oh, it's a cool base, oh, and there's a model on it. Like, I want the model to be the center of attention. So that's pretty much it on this basing segment. This would be the same process for doing it on a Terminator base or a cavalry base or a bike base or whatever you want, type of base you want to do that on. As far as bases go, I'm still working on biker bases. I haven't even glued them. I'll probably do that tomorrow to get more biker bases done. I'll show you like once I get a squad of 6 done and glued, I'll do a video on them just to show you what they look like in a squad on the Raven Wing. Coming up in the works is batch painting bases. I did these guys one at a time, just trying to develop a technique down, which is how I suggest doing it. If you're going to do a new base to style, even if you have a tutorial online or something, do it with one base first, and then once more with another base to make sure you get it down pat, and then you can assembly line it. And so I'll do a video on my batch painted bases. What else? As far as basing in the future, for how-tos, if you will, I am going to show more of a rubble urban instead of a road urban. I'm going to show Space Hulk, because I'm doing all Terminators except for Bone Scorpions, another do-it-yourself chapter, and Pre-Heresy on a Space Hulk base. And pretty much it's primarily Deathwing, so I'm doing them on a Space Hulk base. So let's see, that's it's urban, Space Hulk. I'm gonna do a wasteland and like a kind of like a chaosy-ish snow, like easy snow. Whenever I start doing Tau again, and when I eventually do salamanders or do some salamander models, I'm gonna do my take on like a lava ash world. Nothing fancy, just enough to get the point across and not detract too much from my modeling painting skills, which isn't the highest standard. I'm also going to do a segment for basing on making it on objectives and stratagems. And what I'm going to do is, you recognize this base from the bikes, I'm going to do 2 things. How to salvage a base, like if you had a base and you broke it off the model because you don't want to use it anymore, but it still looks decent enough. How to salvage what you have to turn it into something usable, so it's not just a random base sitting there, as well as how to make stratagems like this guy, or objectives, which would be this guy. So that's pretty much it. If you have any comments or questions regarding bases, let me know, and I'll do my best to do a video or a article response, or both, on the Fortune Miners Theory blog or here. So until the next one, take it easy.